Hello everybody and welcome to this Train Sim World 3 news video. It's not really news, but shh. We're going to be looking today at the possibility for NJ Transit Rail in Train Sim World 3. I'm going to focus particularly on the Northeast Corridor line because that's what I think is most likely if this is going to happen. So let's jump in. So why do I think we will get this? And by the way, this is not confirmed at all. This is suspicions of mine. So I believe this is highly likely because there's easy licensing for Dovetail because they already have a license for Train Simulator Classic for NJ Transit, and they've also already got an Amtrak license for Train Sim World. There's lots of content for New Jersey Transit on Train Sim Classic, and that could allow for transferred skill, and they already know what to look at, what things people expect, etc. The latest roadmap has a unnamed US overhead AC route, and there are only a few things that could be, like the New Haven line of the Long Island Railroad, or or some other part of the Northeast Corridor, MARC, SEPTA, or some of the New Jersey Transit lines. And I think this is probably the most likely because it's also been very highly requested. And also, if it's, say, the Northeast Corridor line of New Jersey Transit, it allows the layering of ACS and Acela, which the ACS 64 we already have with the Amfleets as part of Boston Sprinter, and the Acela Express we are going to receive in an upcoming DLC, and that's been confirmed. So, a quick overview of NJ Transit Rail. So they operate commuter rail services around New Jersey, particularly around New York, out of New York Penn and Hoboken, and for Newark as well. And they also run a diesel line between Philadelphia and Atlantic City. They also operate some lines under contract for the Metro North Railroad, so MTA, and those are also diesel, so they're out of the question. And it is the second busiest and longest commuter rail network in North America. So these are their current lines. In green, I put the Northeast Corridor line because I think that's the most likely. In black are the other two electrified lines. And in orange are the partially electrified lines, which I'm not sure if they qualify. The only electrified bits could be part of the thing. I'm not sure. It's quite hard to tell with the code whether that qualifies as electro diesel or just electric or just you know what I mean. And the red ones are all diesel, so they would definitely qualify as diesel or failing that electro diesel, but not overhead AC. So we're basically looking at Northeast Corridor line, Princeton branch, Gladstone branch, all of them, or possibly, unlikely though, parts of the New Jersey coastline, Montclair to Boonton line, and Morristown line. So, the electric rolling stock, we have the ALP-46 and the ALP-46A, and those are electric locomotives, as you can see up the top, and they are made by Bombardier. So they are sort of Trax locomotives, there's a sort of visual resemblance to the BR-101 or 146, 185, that kind of stuff. They're 4-axle electric locomotives, they've got the AC overhead feed. They've got a maximum speed of only 100 miles an hour, although I'm fairly certain I've read somewhere once that they have a design speed of 125, but I could be wrong about that, I'm not sure. And they've also got a power output for the ALP-46s of 5,300 kilowatts, and for the 46A is 5,600 kilowatts. And the next one is the General Electric Arrow 3 rail car, and this is the one in the bottom picture. So these also have 4 axles per carriage. They've got the same AC overhead feed, and the Arrow 3s, after their refurbishment, they now have a top speed of 100 miles an hour as well, and they've got a power output per coach of 560 kilowatts. And as I mentioned earlier, the ALP45, which is similar to the ALP46, except there's only a cab at one end, and they also have a diesel engine for unelectrified branches. It's unclear if that fits the code, because the Northeast Corridor can run those trains, because they have a pantograph, obviously. Whether they are not included because it's electro-diesel, we're not sure. So it could mean the electric code could mean only electric, absolutely nothing that could possibly run on diesel, or it could mean the route is fully electrified, but some of the stuff, one of the trains could also have a diesel engine on it as well. I couldn't say. So we'll now focus on the Northeast Corridor line. So it's got 17 stations between New York, Penn and Trenton over a distance of 93.5 kilometres. Operates the rolling stock before with the multi-level coach, which are those sort of... They're similar to the Caltrain coaches that we have in the game. The Caltrain bi-levels that come with the Baby Bullet, but slightly different because they have high-level boarding and low-level boarding. They've got the sort of two sets of doors, which is a bit strange. All the single-level Comet coaches. Everything is standard gauge, fairly consistent with everything else we've had except the Arosa line. And this particular part of the Northeast Corridor uses 12 kilovolt, 25 hertz AC overhead line equipment, which is very unusual for that kind of stuff. It was electrified in early days of AC electrification. Various people were building different parts of what we now call the Northeast Corridor, and they couldn't. They all picked a different voltage, but that's the voltage that this part, which I think was the Pennsylvania Railroad PRR with their GG1s and whatnot. So services will be run obviously by New Jersey Transit for the commuter stuff, but also Amtrak run trains over, obviously, because it's the Northeast Corridor. So they run their Northeast regional trains with the ACS 64 and also the Acela Express. This is one of the highly compelling reasons why I think it's this line of New Jersey Transit, because we can have two separate layered Amtrak units, and with this new layering thing that Loco DLCs are paired to the test track or whatever, and they're not paired to another route DLC, it means that you could buy the Acela with this route and run it here, or you could buy Boston to Providence and run it there, and you don't need... say if I was to buy the Class 313 now, but I didn't have East Coast Way, it wouldn't work on anything. You have to have East Coast Way to enable the 313, but this doesn't have... You can buy the Acela separately and run it wherever you want. You don't need to have another... Anyway, on a tangent. So, to conclude, this is what I think the new US route will be. I didn't think of this. I'm not that clever. Just snooping around the forums, and everyone was saying, "Oh, I reckon it'll be NJ Transit because they don't have a MARC license, and it's unlikely to be SEPTA." But who knows? Could be something else, but I think I have a hunch it'll be this. Anyway, I'll keep you guys updated if there's any other updates, Dovetail Live articles that come out. I will keep you updated. New news article videos come out every Sunday. Other videos come out at various times during the week. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.